Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Grab Your Keys. We have a rock star branch manager, a friend of mine, Stephanie Medlock. She is in Charleston, South Carolina. So, Stephanie, welcome to Grab Your Keys.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
It will be super great. Stephanie, how did you get into the mortgage business?
Well, funny story. I went to college for an accounting degree at Alabama and ended
Roll
up working
Tide.
for Roll Tide, just like your son. And so I literally went to work for a huge CPA firm in downtown Atlanta and absolutely was miserable. Even the partners came to me after a year and said, we want to promote you within, but we just don't feel like you're happy. And it was just boring. And I wasn't talking to people. So I took that background and went and got into recruiting accountants. And then I really loved sales. I became the number one salesperson, worked at another company in sales, became the number one sales representative in 2 months. I signed up 70 accounts my first 2 months. And then I met my husband and through a great friend of mine 24 years ago. And he goes, you've got a great background. You know how to sell. You're the number one sales rep and you're really good with numbers. So why aren't you doing mortgages? It's like, I didn't even know what a mortgage is.
Right.
So he taught me how to do this at his dining room table. And now him and I have successfully ran his company until we shut it down when we joined Benchmark. And then, so yes, 24 years.
Oh my gosh, that's so amazing. And you've been so successful being a mom, being a successful branch manager. How many children do you have?
We have 2 boys. So one just started college at South Carolina and the other one is getting his driver's license tomorrow. So
Super exciting. So how do you balance like being a mom of teenagers and all the boy teenagers that are always constantly going and running a business?
It's a hard balance. I mean, it's probably the biggest struggle you have when you are in this business as a parent. For men and women, it's our phone rings, the texting and the emails and the Facebook Messenger and the Instagram messages and the emails and the voicemails. It's gotten to be the point where we're kind of like McDonald's 24/7, right? It's like we're always on. And so honestly, now that they're older, it was a huge challenge for me when they were younger,
Right.
really hard. Mommy guilt, like in here working on a Saturday when they're all out by the pool. I would watch them at my lake house up at Lake Murray and my husband would have them out skiing behind the boat and I'm in there working, and it's just, you kind of just get used to it because this is a great business and it provides us to be able to have a second home. And
Right.
I love what I do. So, but I think if you didn't love what you do, it would really get to you.
Right. If you were back in accounting, it would really get to you for sure.
Yeah. Like if I was in that old job, I would probably be miserable and you would not have me on this podcast at all.
What do you feel your 3 keys to success has been for you?
That's a hard one. I would say the number one thing that I think I really did well when I started was I trained with the 2 top loan officers at my husband's brokerage at the time, and they were the best of the best. And one of them was big into subprime. I remember she had all these little folders, like, back in the day before we had all this tech stuff. And I really learned how to structure really creative deals, and it really gave me a huge. I pretty much memorized the VA handbook.
Right.
I really spent a lot of time the first 3 to 4 years in this business learning my craft and watching people, how they sold rates, how they explained it. And then I just kind of developed my own way through them. And that was really huge for me. The other thing is, again, surrounding myself with the best. And Benchmark to me is, provided me 16 years of, being around some of the top loan officers in the country. I've done branch site visits. That's super helpful to see, hey, how did this person close 34 deals last month? I want to know what they're doing. And I've really tried to shadow a ton of people. And then honestly, just building relationships. My real estate agents are some of my best friends. They go on vacations with me. We are taking a cruise together this fall. I know everything about their lives and I care for them and I truly treat them as family. So I think building relationships has really been a key to my success.
Right. How do you feel like a new person would start building those relationships?
Well, I read a great book one time, and it's an easy read. It's called The Power of Who by Bob Bodine or Bodine.
Mhm.
And it's just about you already know everybody you need to know. So when I started the business, there was a guy in Spartanburg at the time when we lived there. My husband's, he still has that office to this day. And those two were closing like 30 deals a month a piece. And it's a small town, right? And I'm like, well, everybody I call on, like, like
Right.
they're already using you. So who do I call on? So I had to get super creative and really go outside of my comfort zone and go to different areas, and really look at my network and say, here are the top 10 influential people I know. Who do they know? And, where can those contacts take me? And I
Okay.
use them to leverage them to get me to other people. And also just getting creative. And, there's so many ways to get business in this business. When I was in the upstate, they were working with so many of the agents. I started calling on financial advisors and divorce attorneys and CPAs, and just to get business that way. And so yeah, it's getting in this business is a little tough, but man, I tell you, I gave it my all. I worked 80 hours a week the first 3
Yeah.
years. Like my son's been talking to me about getting in the business, and I'm like,
It's a
well,
grind. You gotta.
it's a grind and it's tough.
I say the same thing. I think that I had 5 to 10 years, 24/7, and
Yeah.
like no break in sight. And that's how you like just build your sphere of influence, and then you just take the circles bigger and bigger and bigger. And
Yeah.
that's super important. I agree with you on the number one thing, or not that they're in any priority, but the first thing that you said is, training. And number two is surrounding yourself with the best. And I did the same thing when I got into the mortgage business. I went out with every single loan officer that I could, and I heard their rap. I heard the way they
Mhm.
spoke, the language they used, the confidence they had, and then I made it be my rap. And to this day, I know what I've said and what I haven't said. It hasn't changed that much, even through the decades, because we're still helping people buy
Mhm.
houses. And it doesn't change that much. We're providing them with the financing to buy their house. And
Right.
it might be a little different. There's nuances with everyone, but you just really have to, listen to people and develop that relationship. In today's market with AI, how are you using AI, and how do you think that will affect our future?
Oh man, it's insane. It's funny. I'm 50, and so I just celebrated my 50th birthday last
Happy
month. And
birthday.
thank you. And it's funny. My kids couldn't believe it because I actually learned through an academy I took, a bunch of amazing tools, for real estate agents, mortgage loan officers, just in general, anything. Chat GPT, how to create your own GPTs. I really invested a lot of time, probably 40 to 60 hours, maybe more, of just time off work, listening and just learning. And so I actually taught a class on AI to agents. And so it's a little scary, but honestly, it has helped us so much. Like I've recreated all my templates. You can talk to it. Like I've been using Gamma a lot, which is
Mhm.
where you can create a PowerPoint and like that would have taken me 8 hours in like 15 minutes. It's amazing. I'm excited to see what else happens. I've even created like scenarios where I save it as a project where it'll just run refinance scenarios for clients when rates, were dropping down. And it's a useful tool. It's a little scary. I just worry about it replacing jobs in the future. Like I went to Arby's the other day, or no, Bojangles. My kids love Bojangles chicken, and it was an AI
Right.
taking my order. And I thought, well, that's somebody's job, which kind of made me sad. But, I was like, they'll never get it right. This order is going to be wrong. And it was right.
It was right. It was probably more efficient. You said quickly that you kind of passed through it, that you taught an AI class, like you learned it and then you taught it to your realtors. How often are you teaching classes to realtors to develop old relationships, new relationships, give them value?
So I will tell you, I don't know why it is about me. I think it's my background. My dad was in the car business, and I, we had a great life, but I worked in those departments in summers and stuff. And one thing I learned is it was really salesy and pushy, and like I don't like people coming up to me and crowding my space and like, hey, so look at this outfit. Color would look great on you. I just kind of like to do my thing. And so I'm not a pushy salesperson. I feel like for me, what's worked for me is I don't like sales calls. I don't do cold calls. I will not do cold calls. I will never do a cold call. I use my network and I use teaching classes, and I do them every 60 days religiously. It is a non-negotiable for me. I have 5 venues that I do. And I absolutely love it. I love teaching people and giving them something that will help support their growth and their business, because I think that's a great way of just saying, hey, I never once asked for business at my sales class. At the end of the presentation, it will be a QR code to my website for people to apply. Here's my information. Here's my team's information. And then that's it. And I just did one recently, and I've already gotten 6 deals from it. So it's great. They normally sell out, and it's just too bad Charleston's so expensive, because the venues around here, they're a lot.
Right, I was going to ask you, like, how do you pick the venue?
Well, I joined the Harbor Club just because it is Charleston. It's kind of midway, like where we live. It's like West Ashley, Johns Island, Mount Pleasant, Somerville. So it's kind of like this triangle. And so I try to get a spot that can kind of be midway for everyone. And that's the most expensive one I do. So it's normally like $1,500 for 20 people to eat lunch, which is a lot, but I figured, it's worth the investment, because every time I do these classes, I'm going to walk away with at least, 2 to 5, 6, 7 deals. And then I just continue following up. The biggest thing where loan officers mess up is you don't follow up.
Correct.
You can make that great connection, impress people, but we get so busy. You have to have a routine of, all right, I did this event. Who did I impress the most? Who spoke to me? Who did I not speak to? How can I follow up with information on this event? And you just keep following up consistently, because a lot of real estate agents and loan officers, it's the thing we're the worst at.
Yeah, and there's very little follow-up at times, and that is a key. What do you think your best piece of advice is that you use? What's a piece of advice you use every day?
What's yours?
Mine is get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
That's good. Yeah. My husband taught me a long time ago. I'm kind of a control freak because I'm a perfectionist at nature, like at heart. So he taught me one time, delegate, do what you do best and delegate the rest.
I love that.
Because it's sometimes like, you're doing things that are not what you're good at. Like PowerPoint presentations. I'm not good at that. I'm just not. And, and it's like, I know when you're new in this business, you can't have a big team, but if you work really hard and give it your all, like I have 3 people on my team right now, and I could not do this business without them and be at the level we're at without my team, because it is a lot of work, as you know. It's it's one of those things where you have to have someone on your team that's supporting you. Like my partner's like, just go sell, go do events. I've got the phone, we have a huge trust, and you have to trust your team.
You do. You really have to trust your team. What do you think is a daily discipline that you do? Like, do you have a morning routine or a daily discipline in the evening that you do religiously that gets you through the day, or in the mindset that
I need to get better about it, to be quite honest. And that, my coaching program, that I'm doing right now is really helping me with that. So, I religiously used to get up at 5:30 and work out, and it's so good to clear my brain. But I had 3 shoulder surgeries in a row and another surgery last year. So it's been hard for me to get back into that routine. But I'd say my biggest thing is, I read my Bible every morning, and I spend 10 minutes on that. It's quick. I say my prayers, and I do my Think Up app, which is my affirmations. And so I listen to it while I put my makeup on. And honestly, the other thing that I do every day is I listen to some sort of self-help or how to be successful or some sort of podcast related to what I do.
Right.
Because normally in the morning times you have about 35 to 45 minutes of downtime. So I
Yep.
try my best to do that as well. How about
I
you?
love that. I also do. I also listen to things as I put my makeup on and blow dry my
Yeah.
hair. That is good downtime to be multitasking. But as women, I feel like we are always multitasking sometimes, even falling asleep at night. Like I'll be listening to things. I have to think it's not too interesting or my brain starts to like go again. So that is definitely good. I also love working out 3 days a week this and doing the same affirmations and all that other great stuff that you spoke about. You did say that you have, what was it, the Think Up app for affirmations? What was that?
Yeah, the Think Up app, it's got a little orange icon on it. And what you do is you, like I try to change mine based on my goals and my vision board that I keep at my office. And it's just you record it in your own voice. And so I try to be really upbeat when I'm doing it. And I just tell myself, who I want to be and who I am and what I believe and how to be successful and my team's happy and we're healthy. And I do a lot of that. I love that app. And normally I will go through like all of my affirmations, probably 15 to 20 times, just hearing them over and over again. So I really do love that. One thing I will say though, if you're in this business, I'm 50 years old. I've been doing this for 24 years, but one of the most valuable things, and I really should get back to it, but life just gets busy and you get older. But man, when you're starting out, I would daily discipline is get up at 5. Because man, when that phone starts and that email starts, time management is tough in this business. So that time period from 5 to 8:30 is gold. I used to literally spend my entire existence in those 3.5 hours. And so, if you're young and getting into this business, I would highly suggest, because that's when you work on your business.
Correct.
Sometimes between 8:35, you're working inside of your business and talking to clients and doing things like this. So that's that precious time, or be a night owl and do it at night.
That's exactly right. You also mentioned coaching. I like to go back to things that people say that maybe our listeners aren't, pulling out. You're coaching right now. How important do you feel coaching is to your success?
I think it is probably the number one thing you can do. Especially like for me as a branch manager, I've been with this company for 16 years and we just run a very efficient branch. And so sometimes they'll have to call us and say, are you guys okay? Like, because, normally when I call them, they don't want to hear from me because I have an issue or I need a favor or something. But, I really do feel like in the 16 years I've been with Benchmark, I just feel like I just lost my train of thought.
You run an efficient branch, and that
yes,
coaching.
So the coaching, So my point of that is like, if for me, I don't really have them having me hold me accountable, and so I did coaching 3 different times now, and the second coach I had in between was a game changer, life changer. And I only quit doing it because COVID and we were so busy. I didn't have the time to do it or the want to do it because we were, you remember we were closing, a gazillion loans. You could run falling out of the sky. So, but for me, when I got out of it and then I started going through some of this health stuff, I needed it more than ever. But business had been slow and it is a huge investment, but I will say it's an investment you can't overlook. If you want to be successful and be in the top, you interview the top 100 loan officers in the United States, and I guarantee you every single one of them has a coach. So it is a huge, and I already see it now. Like I just got back into coaching, end of the year, and I'm already seeing like way huge improvements. It's amazing.
It is amazing. And I believe in coaches. I have like 3 coaches. So I think that you get different things out of different coach that you have. So I have a woman coach, 2 men coaches. I like to ask different things of different people, but I always look forward to it because that's like me time.
Yeah.
That's time that I'm working on me. I'm working on my business. I'm seeing where my goals are. I'm being reminded of what what are my goals. Every time I talk to them, we go over goals. And if you don't have a goal, you just have dreams. So if
Right.
they're written down, you know what they are. I love that you spoke about having a vision board and like actually visualizing it and seeing it. You are a leader, you're a branch manager. What challenges do you feel shaped the type of leader that you are today?
Probably my childhood, honestly.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough, I moved 42 times in my life. And believe it or not, I had a little crossed eye when I was little. So I got bullied. So one year my dad moved me 4 times in
Wow.
elementary school, and I got a whole new set of bullies every time. So I think there's two things in life that happens. Either you take from that and you learn from it and grow. And it's made me a very kind and passionate person. Like I've always told my kids, if I ever hear you ever hurting someone's heart or bullying somebody, it's not going to be good for you.
Right.
Like, so I think it made me who I am. And honestly, it made me accept change, which I think is super important. Like as we're evolving into AI, like me turning 50 and teaching an AI class, I evolve very easily. I adapt to change very easily. A lot of people don't like change. So I think that has been a huge factor in my success, because the mortgage business is always changing. Like you said, it's really the same, but like the younger generation wants to see charts and payments, and they don't call you, they want to text. And so those kind of things, I think you have to really adapt to, or you're going to be left behind.
Right. So you have Audrey Hepburn behind you, and then you have a little thing that says "Play harder." Does it say "Play harder"? Work hard, play hard.
It lights up in pink. It's super cute. But I'm girly because I live with all boys and men.
I know, I love it.
There's 10 to 12 boys at my house at all times. But yeah, it says "Work hard, play harder."
No, I thought I had a saying by Audrey Hepburn, but I don't. It's by Henry Ford. I thought it said "Getting ready is the secret to success." So, but I thought I know I have one from Audrey Hepburn too.
But I just love her. She makes me happy, and she was strong, and she was just great. I loved everything about her. And
I love that you have things around in your office that make you be happy. So,
and my record player is in the middle.
A smile come through your face.
Yeah, my record player, my son and I, we collect records together.
That's so fun. Yeah, like vinyls, or the small ones or the big ones?
It's like a small, I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, it's a nice record player. And we send each other records. We go all over and go to record stores around the world, like around the United States, and we just get these cool records, and they're all vinyl. And so when I get kind of sad, music's my thing. I've been to 84 concerts, I think.
That's awesome. Who's your favorite?
Oh man. One of my favorite concerts I attended recently was Metallica and AC/DC at Coachella. But then there's also the other side of me that likes Stick Figure, which is a reggae band. So honestly, as long as it's not really opera, I pretty much listen to country, like anything. I love music.
I'm actually surprised. I went to one of my bucket list items was to go to an opera at the Met. And I had the opportunity to go to the Met in New York City and watch an opera. It wasn't something, I don't think I'd listen to opera on the radio, but going to the Met and seeing an opera in a completely different language, and that you understand it was kind of amazing. So
I've heard in person. I would absolutely, it's on my bucket list to go to one, but I don't think I'm that kind of person to sit around and just listen to opera. Like,
me neither. Yeah, I agree.
Well, that's a cool experience to go to there and see that.
My daughter and I are going to Bruno Mars in September. We're super excited about that. So
where's he playing in September?
He's playing like in Philadelphia, but he has a tour. He's playing all over the place.
Oh, wow.
To be great.
I'd love to go see him. Love to go see him.
So we'll make it 100. Are we trying to get to 100?
Yeah, the girls want to go see Riley Green, my 5 girlfriends, but I think they just want to go see him to see him.
Yeah, of course.
So, yeah. But yeah, 100 would be a good goal.
Yeah. So what's in the future for Stephanie?
I love this business. I think I've shared this with you before. I wanted to try to shoot for 30 years in this business and give it my all. And I want to finish out being the top 1% where I was. And I am getting there. I I really want to, I envision the next 4 years being grind like I've never grinded before, even at 50. I'm going to finish the best I can because that's the way I want to remember this career and close this chapter. But the next chapter is probably doing a lot of fishing, a lot of traveling. I've been writing a book. I've been writing 2 books on the side.
Awesome.
And I think I'm going to just kind of take it day by day, learn some new hobbies, and just enjoy my family. Because, man, we give up a lot to be in this business.
Time
and,
flies.
You know, I'm not going to know what to do with myself when I have a whole weekend where I don't have to like be glued to a laptop or a computer with me all the time. So I think the future is bright. And I think we have a couple of really great years ahead of us in the mortgage business and space. You know, I think the next couple of years, the last couple of years have been kind of tough, as you know.
The last 3 years, but I'm sure
the last 3 years have been
some light at the end of the tunnel. We just got to get to that light. Every time we think it's there, we're like, not there yet. So, but it will be there. But Stephanie, if people wanted to reach out to you, to chat with you, how would they reach out to you? We're going to have the links below. Why don't you quickly give them a little bit of your information?
I mean, honestly, my best way to get a hold of me is going to be my phone. I'm so old school, guys. So, I mean, you can text me directly at 843-819-9902. And honestly, the second thing's probably going to be Instagram. You can message me there. My my hashtag, or I guess is what you call
Handle.
it, is S Medlock _ Charleston Lender. And also just my email, stephanie.medlock@benchmark.us. And so those three are best.
You're going to put all of that below. And I am so lucky to have met you and had great times chatting with you. Thank you so much for being on Grab Your Keys. You've been amazing and giving all of us such great information of how you've built your business. You have an amazing business. Everyone's lucky to work with you in that area. And I am super excited for all the good things in your future.
Well, thank you so much. And I just highly respect you and what you do. And you have helped me in a lot of different ways as well. And you're just such an amazing lady, and you run such a great business as well. And so thanks for having me. I really enjoyed it, and we'll talk soon.
Well, guys, like, share, and comment, and we look forward to seeing you next time on Grab Your Keys.